Trashy, where we take a dumpster dive on this week's garbage people and a look at all the trashiest news stories. My name is Erica, and I'm your host.
My name is Cassandra, and I'm your other host. Hey, baby trash cans, we still are not current. This is pre-recorded, pre-baby recorded. Just FYI, in case something huge and super trashy happened in the news, you know.
If Kate Middleton is just like out in the lab and she's about to drop her mixtape, we won't know.
We won't know how that aged if it turns out that she's been dead the whole time.
Oh
But,
my God.
if you haven't already been starting to hear some guest hosts, you might start. I would think that if something like that happened, you would bump this episode and get a guest host. I might even come back for that.
Absolutely. We got to get to the bottom of this.
Yeah, but we can't waste time talking about it right now because
No.
this is a very special episode. As my child was born in LA, we want to do a completely Los Angeles focused trashy.
I love LA.
I love it. Or we love it. Oh my God, I should know that. Oh, they're going to kick me out.
Major
Wow.
faux pas. LA faux pas.
That is the song of the Los Angeles Dodgers, who we will talk about a little bit later in the episode. But first, I got to know, why are you trash?
Okay, I was trying to think of my most like LA, like what makes you so LA trash, And
Right.
what comes to mind is what I call Winston and I's Peter Stormare anniversary.
Okay.
Winkiversary, if you will. So Peter Stormare, he's a Swedish actor, if you're not familiar. He was one of the bad guys in the original Fargo. He's been in John Wick. He's one of the bad guys in The Big Lebowski. You've seen him. You know who he is. Like, you've
I Googled
definitely
his
seen him.
face. I know who he is.
Yeah.
Not like the most handsome guy.
Well, just wait
Okay.
till you see him in person. You really got to see him in person.
Actors do be like that.
Yeah, there's something in the eyes. There's something you can always tell. The intensity of the eye contact. Anyway, so Winston and I have gone out, probably drinking, who knows, where we were. And we end up at midnight at a Ralph's. Ralph's is a grocery store, like a Kroger brand grocery store, right? It's where you
the
go.
Vons, the Safeway, the
Safeway,
King
your
Soopers,
Piggly Wiggly, your yes.
Fred Meyer, your Fry's, your Kroger.
Insert your local grocery chain, which is probably owned by the same conglomerate everywhere.
Big time.
So
I was also wrong about Vons and Safeway, so just my apologies.
Who cares?
You're right.
I'm not fact checking this. Do you think we fact check a goddamn thing on this podcast?
I think it's obvious we don't.
So we end up, it's midnight. We're going to get stuff for breakfast the next morning, or who knows, or maybe a midnight snack. We don't know. And this was 10 and 11 years ago. I'm looking particularly cute, svelte, really feeling myself. Winston and I are somewhat new dating. And Peter Stormare is wearing a tank top with a low cut, like to the belly cut sleeves. Do you know what I'm talking about? Where it's just strings, basically. Long hair. And like it's a shirt that has like the
fringe?
No, like where the sleeve is like all the way down. Like it's a huge gap where like
the Travis Barker.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. Accurately painting the picture. This is why we work so well together.
Of course.
He's got his long blonde surfer hair, just like Jim Shore. Who knows?
Uh-huh.
He's so tall. He's so handsome. And again, I'm looking so cute and svelte. And Peter Stormare looks me up and down and gives me a wink and that's what, like a head nod, right? Now, this is my version of the story. In Winston's version of the story, Peter Stormare does give me an up and down and then gives the head nod to Winston. Like yeah,
nice,
man,
bro.
Nice, bro. You with that thing, And when I say this is one of the biggest fights in our relationship.
So basically the contention is whether or not Winston wants to acknowledge that Peter Stormare respected him.
You know what?
It like,
Good
you know,
perspective.
like
Yeah.
yeah, like because that's the difference,
That's the
is like
difference.
either
Yeah.
way, Peter Stormare thought you were hot, but like
Yeah.
the question is Peter Stormare Mr. Steal Your Girl, or is he like, hey, respect, guy, you have that girl, and that's that. Like
Yeah.
I never want to take Winston's side, but you have to understand the stakes here for him, which is that if you're right, Peter Stormare does not respect Winston.
So this
He
is what
thinks
we
that
call
Winston is a grimy worm who doesn't deserve you.
so this is what we call our Peter Stormare winkiversary. It comes up once a year. And then the debate sparks up.
Sure.
And here's the great thing about my memory. It is like water.
Uh-huh.
Flowing, evolving, changing, ever
Of course.
flowing,
Yeah. That's
fits
the
to the
beauty of
container
memory.
that it's in.
Uh-huh.
So the older I get, the more I remember the version I tell and maybe less of
Oh
what
yeah.
happened that night. And it's become my own legend, you know, where you
Sure.
like embellish an ounce here or there. And then by the 10 years later, you're like, were we even in a Ralph's? What were we?
You're like,
But
"Oh, remember when we were in pavilions and Peter Stormare finger banged me in front of you?"
that'll be when I'm older. That's going to be the version
Yeah.
in front of the meat counter.
Yeah.
So
And then Winston is like, "No, he didn't call me a cuck. He, yeah.
yeah. So that it's evolved, but we once a year we celebrate our Peter Stormare Winkiversary and debate
How
the
funny.
accounts of the evening. So two things can be true at the same time. So anyway,
Sure.
that to me just feels like the most embarrassing LA like
Encounter.
encounter and douchiness of what this town is, where it's like a working actor, and I'm like, whoa.
It's always weird to see the actors in the grocery store specifically.
It was the
I
Hollywood
in
Rock
my
and Roll
opinion,
Ralphs too. It was like
well, Rock and Roll Ralph's, I suppose that makes
mhm.
it's off of Sunset Boulevard. That makes
At the
sense.
bottom of the Hollywood Hills. So this is the if you're gonna see somebody in the meat counter that's a regular on CBS, it's at the
You know what's
Rock and Roll
interesting
Ralphs.
is there's Rock and Roll Ralph's on that side of the hill, and then on the other side of the hill, there's a Studio City Ralph's, which is off of Coldwater, across from
Yes.
Sportsman's Lodge. That's another one. But one time I saw Corey Feldman. This isn't why I'm trash. I'm just putting this out there because it's like what comes to mind when I think of celebrities in grocery stores and why
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
always just off-putting.
yeah.
It was also very late at night, and yeah, I saw Corey Feldman and some woman, and they were buying like 2 carts worth of groceries and
Wow.
seemed visibly drunk. And there was like one checkout counter because it was late, and I was like, "Oh fuck,
Yeah.
fucking Corey Feldman here," which it wasn't super surprising to see him. It was in Sherman Oaks, but like I'd waited on Corey Feld like the PF Chang's in Sherman Oaks Galleria. Maybe not now, but about 10 years ago, you couldn't go anywhere to see like more famous people than that PF Chang's.
That's so funny.
Um
Well, the rate the yeah, there's a bunch of stuff in that tower. There's a bunch of show business stuff.
so Corey Feldman's people would come
Yeah.
in. Corey Feldman would be there for about 15 minutes, and then his
Mhm.
people would remain for 4 hours trying to really figure out how to revitalize that career. Is he
Can I
dead? I
No,
guess I
he's
shouldn't
still
be.
alive.
Okay,
He's
great. Well, then I'm
he's
not
still
me.
clipping. Releasing a documentary allegedly that people keep stealing. Who knows? We one time I did interview to be there's a actress who is like huge star in China, and she was trying to
Mhm.
break into the American market. And her assistant, I was applying to be basically her American friend. This was the job posting basically. It was like, hey, she needs someone who can help acclimate her to nuances in LA and accompany her to events and hold her purse, but teach her the ways of Hollywood versus
Sure.
her show business. And I went in and I did my best to be like, I'm plucky. I'll do the best job. I'm quiet and discreet. Please give me this. I needed the job so badly. And I didn't get it. But then the assistant, the one that called me in for the interview, we met up for coffee. She was like, hey, can we go to coffee? I'm sorry you didn't get the job, but could we just like meet up? And I was like, sure. This is years ago. And she was like, yeah, I don't know what she wants. I don't know. And nobody's going to get the job. Like, I don't know exactly what she's looking for. And it was like, okay. But she was super nice. But it was just like, I was basically an American friend. And I'm like, can I put myself out there? Is that as a job now? So
I know. Well, I
yeah,
think everyone in LA has an
that's
assistant job. They almost got that.
so many LA
It's
stories. Why are
it's
you
part of living here.
trash? Yeah.
Um, I just want to put a PSA out there. Does it make me trashy? I don't know. I'm a victim of circumstance. But we could actually change this whole podcast name to victim of circumstance if we wanted to. If you see a pregnant person in a doctor's office ever, just know their hands have been or are about to be covered in piss.
Yeah.
They make you pee every single time that you have to go to the doctor.
Is it to take a pregnancy test to confirm you're pregnant?
There's all kinds of shit.
We don't want any fakies coming in here.
Yeah. Like, did you use that a pillow? Go pee. No, there's all kinds of tests they do, like,
well, I'm sure
for
health.
urine.
Yeah.
Like, sure, they're probably just double checking you're still pregnant, but also like, like, is there protein in your urine? Because that could be a sign of whatever, like, all kinds of shit. Anyways, every time, because they've told me, they're like, if you get here and you need to pee, like, tell the receptionist you need to come back and pee, even if we haven't called you yet, because we're going to make you, like, every time. And it is not easy to give a urine sample as a woman.
You know what? We haven't invented a funnel for that.
This is what I'm saying.
Spray. And then I have to clean the outside of the sampling cup.
Yes.
I have a strong stream.
It's just like, you have to, it's like, here you go, take this tiny cup. If you don't put enough pee in it, we're going to make you do it again. So don't fuck with me. But go and piss all over your hand. And then return it to us.
Yeah.
With a shred of dignity.
Pretend.
Yeah, like, we're all going to pretend like you didn't just have to wipe it down with toilet paper that was also hospital grade toilet paper, so it's crumbling
because
just
single
dissolving
ply. And then the window of anonymity, like, just place it in. Did your doctors have that?
No, that's what sucks too. Kaiser doesn't have like a space in the bathroom where you can just fucking leave it. They're like, no, parade around with it.
like it's a tiny dog in the early 2000s, or just
it's because even if you have to go up to the labs to do it, you still have to walk down a hall and then place it in a bin. That's with where other pee is.
Little piss
and just
houses.
Like be like, okay. And then, or if you have to do it in the doctor's office itself, like, you have to like hand it over to the nurse.
Miserable.
But like, if she's not ready to take it, you just need to stand there and hold it, because you don't want to just put it on her desk.
That's such an aggressive sign too. Just walking in, putting in no other circumstance would you just put a cup of urine on someone's desk and be like, thank you.
It's just dehumanizing. There's a lot about being pregnant that's dehumanizing, but that's just one of them, where I'm just, every time that I'm in there, I'm like, when is this going to become easier? And it doesn't. In fact, it gets harder the bigger your belly gets too.
Sure.
Yeah, it's unpleasant. I don't know why we don't have a better, like, men can do this no problem. They fucking nail it. But like,
just
give me a funnel. Give me something.
Misogyny in the medical field.
Shocker.
Yeah.
Surprise, surprise.
The worst
Ugh.
thing is I have to give blood pretty frequently for my health and urine, right? You have to do both.
Yeah.
The worst thing is if you go into a Quest, the blood draw lab, and then you can't pee. You've
Oh,
drank
yeah.
water all day. You're like, I'm ready. I'm trying to, it's first thing in the morning. You're fasting,
Yeah.
drinking water, bottles before you get in there. And then you get in there and you can't pee. And then you have to come out and ask for a cup of water. And then you have to ask
Yep.
for another cup of water. And then you go back in and you're like, I got it this time. And then an old man's banging on the door because he's got to pee. He has no wait time. And it's humiliating. Just like sitting there waiting to catch it and then having to ask for a fifth cup of water. Not that that's happened to me multiple times, but you
Oh,
know what I mean? Just the relatable human story. I'm sure it's happened to everyone,
there's nothing quite like needing to pee or like not being able to pee and then them looking at you pregnant and being like, "Oh, you you can't go?"
Oh God.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, pregnant ladies always need to pee.
All
I just
right.
think it's funny that you can't. Anyways, we can't get into it anymore. We have to take a break. Unless you're a Patreon subscriber, in which case, see you at the first story. Hey, do you want to start your own podcast?
Cass, are you breaking up with me?
No, not you. The baby trash cans.
Oh, so they should use Zencaster like we do.
It is so easy to record a podcast with Zencaster. You log on your computer, you press record, and you've got yourself on the road to making a studio quality podcast.
It's an all-in-one platform too, y'all. So you just create your podcast, then Zencaster does the rest, distributing it to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and all other major podcast destinations.
Go to zencastr.com/pricing and use our code TRASHY to get 30% off your first month of any Zencastr paid plan.
That's Zencastr. Skip the last D.
We want you to have the same easy experiences that we do for all of our podcasting and content needs.
It's time to share your story.
Again, that is zencastr.com/pricing for 30% using promo code TRASHY.
Zencastr.com/pricing. Use code TRASHY at checkout.
Erica, if I can be real, I'm worried about the planet.
Hey, Cass, it's a comedy podcast.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Okay, well then let me just jump to what I wanted to bring up. Have you heard of Sun and Swell Foods?
You mean the nation's first online plastic-free grocery store?
Yes, that's what I mean. I want all the baby trash cans out there to have a chance to shop the assortment of delicious, healthy foods in plastic-free compostable packaging.
I read by 2050 there will be more plastic in the ocean than fish. So
Oof.
imagine if we had access to yummy, plant-based, gluten-free, real foods without the plastic packaging.
Well, Sun and Swell is a women-owned small business based in Santa Barbara who are offering people just that. Oh, and BTW, if you don't have access to compost to ditch the packaging after you're done, they have a send-back program. They are not wasting anything, babies.
So if you're looking for a more planet-friendly pantry, shop Sun and Swell and get 20% off site-wide when you go to sunandswellfoods.com and use code TRASHY at checkout.
That's 20% off your entire order when you use TRASHY at sunandswellfoods.com. Baby trash cans, are you in the market to make your personal care routine a little bit more eco-conscious? Because natural deodorant is a great place to start.
Cass, what are you talking about?
I'm talking about Wild, the UK's #1 natural deodorant company that's focused on performance, style, and sustainability.
With 100% vegan formula ingredients derived from plants, Wild is focused on making their deodorant safe for the humans and the planet.
Oh, so no skin-irritating complex chemical compounds?
No mama and no aluminum salts or parabens, or aluminium, since it's from the UK.
Sign me up!
Funny you should say that because Wild offers flexible subscription services, or you can purchase one at a time.
Well, that's convenient. Oh, and it looks like Wild offers new limited edition cases and scents each month.
We love variety.
Go Wild today with a special discount of 25% off your first order when you use code TRASHY at checkout.
Go to wearewild.com and use code TRASHY at checkout.
One more time for the people in the back. wearewild.com and use code TRASHY at checkout.
All right, our first story is from sfgate.com, sent in by Mama Trash Can Tina Curry. A TV star who lived alone in the decaying LA tower inadvertently saved it from the Sunset Tower. Sorry. Fuck, let me try that again. I realize these two aren't together. This is two separates. Hold on. A TV star who lived alone in a decaying LA tower inadvertently saved it.
Yes, we're talking about the Sunset Tower in West Hollywood. It's this really cool Art Deco building that has this crazy history and was almost destroyed.
Yep. I mean, John Wayne had a cow that lived with him there, and that wasn't just his third wife.
Allegedly.
Heyo.
Heyo.
Heyo. Sorry, an actual bovine. Sorry. If they used to have parties where he'd tell his guests that if they wanted cream for their coffee, they need to get it straight from the source. But there's just tons of lore about it. It was kind of
Marilyn Monroe, Frank Sinatra,
Yep.
Elizabeth Taylor, Howard Hughes. Like, these are the people who would go to the Sunset Tower, like, all the time. Like, very, like, old Hollywood, super famous people lived there. Oh, Truman Capote lived there at one point.
Yep. He wrote in a letter to a friend in 1947, I am living in a very posh establishment, the Sunset Tower, which, or so the local gentry tell me, is where every scandal that ever happened. Ooh.
So what was happening was that, I mean, it started to lose. I mean, it wasn't
It's
where people would live anymore.
Yeah, it's like an old building. Yeah.
Yeah, but some guy owned a condo there and just like wouldn't leave.
Yeah.
Which is great.
If you're in your condo, stay in your condo. If you're in line to stay. Truly, I love the stories of people that have lived somewhere that are paying like $250 a month and they're offering them millions to move out of their apartment or condo because they're going to demolish it and put up some hideous looking thing called the Ava. And they're like, no. And they get millions out of it.
So that's kind of like this guy's vibe. And because he did that, now it was able to be bought by a hotelier who left it not as is, of course.
Tweaked.
Made it nicer. And now it's like this cool, it's still like a swanky, pretty much celebrities only kind of spot.
Yeah, like Lady Gaga, John Mayer live there. They have a no paparazzi rule.
Renee Zellweger.
Oh.
Britney Spears, P. Diddy. Britney Spears and P. Diddy were turned away for unknown reasons.
Which I would love. If I could have coffee with anybody, it would be the concierge of this place and just be like, Dish, who sucks? You know?
This is a Patreon exclusive. You know.
Yeah.
Just some hot celebrity goss if you're a Patreon exclusive.
Just know if it's on the internet, if it's a fringe thing, if a no-name account makes an accusation, I've probably seen it. You know, that's all.
That's good to know. Yeah, I my Instagram loves to give me that stuff. I eat it up. Yum, 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 yum.
All right. Our next story comes to us. A familiar twang of Cass's dog park stories. But this one's from NBCLosAngeles.com.
So if you're listening to the podcast, you've heard me talk about this like dog park maybe about a year ago where it's in North Hollywood, Burbank area, and it's like a bunch of people just go and they sit in a weird circle, and I'm like pretty sure they're all fucking each other, you know, just to ring anybody's bell about like what I'm talking about.
Just
like
a polycule of dog lovers.
we went on a tangent about like people who use the word play, like yeah, like
still makes me mad.
Yeah, like do you want to come play with us after? Anyways,
play for sex. That's what they're saying. Like, do you want to come play? And it's like, no.
Please don't use that word for sex. Anyways, group sex, barf. Anyways, not to yuck anyone's yum. I don't like the
term. I don't care what you do. I don't like the term.
Yes. Anyways, so this dog park, I was at another nicer dog park and I was informed about this story by someone who was talking shit on this North Hollywood dog park. Apparently, there was a fucking drive-by shooting that was sparked, as she said in NBC Los Angeles. This was sparked from an argument that happened at the dog park.
Listen, if you say you're going to finish Gary off when you're playing, you got to finish Gary off when you're playing, okay? Sorry.
I mean, it's so two people, like nobody knows what they were arguing about. Probably someone had a dog that was a dickhead. I mean, if
Right?
I,
Yeah.
and the other person like didn't like that or whatever. But this suspected shooter goes, "I'm leaving." Like, fuck
Mhm.
you, I'm leaving, basically. Goes to her car, sees other people about to go to the dog park, and goes, wait, what is, I want to do the quote. Oh, she looks at the people in the parking lot and goes, "I'm going to shoot them. Watch." And then she did. She
Like,
got in her car and then she like shot out of her window. I mean, no one got hurt,
thank God.
whatever, but she shot 3 shots out of her window before leaving.
Here's what when you say, watch this, it means you're about to jump off of a tall building into a pool.
Sure.
You're about to leap over 3 cars on your
Maybe some
four-wheeler.
close-up magic, you
Oh,
know?
ooh, is this your card? Not, I'm about to shoot some people.
Watch.
Jesus. In fact, I would say, hey, look away. I'm about to do something.
You might not want to go over there. I
Hey,
see you with your dogs and your children. Maybe don't go over there
maybe
because I'm
hang
about
back
to
for
actually
just a
shoot in that
tick.
direction.
Yeah. Good God. What
Insane.
argument could come from the dog park?
I think it's the power lines. There's a lot of power lines that run over this dog park that
It's
like
making people crazy.
it must, because I mean you get out and there's kind
Yeah.
of like a
Mhm.
like
Mhm.
in the air, but it's like, okay, like I either go here or I have to drive up into the canyons. So like let me just get my dog
Yeah.
some fucking energy out. But I think yeah, the vibes at that dog park are I there was something, because no one got hurt, I can say this validates. There was 2 stories that could
Everything.
have come out of this. Either that there was a random shooting because there was a crazy argument,
Yeah.
or North Hollywood Dog Park closed because bodies just piling and fucking each other gets out of hand, public, like everyone gets arrested. Those were the only 2 stories, but I feel validated in my feelings towards that dog park and I'm glad I don't go there anymore.
Yeah. No, I'm glad you're safe. Glad the
Thank
fam's
you.
safe. You know,
Thank you.
one thing we love on Trashy is a car chase. And there's no
Oh
better
my god.
place than a car chase in LA.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because you can go, "Oh, I know that place.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I've
Oh,
been there."
hey, look, they're going by our sandwich shop. Isn't that fun?
Uh-oh,
We
they're
should
getting close to the 405 and 101 around 4:00. Ooh, you know?
about to get dicey.
Uh-huh. That
Um,
stretch always has traffic on it.
it does.
Yeah.
So this comes to us from patch.com. Police chase stolen party bus through Los Angeles. Now, would you pay a fee? If you were a certain type of person, would you not pay a fee to be in a party bus and have a simulated car chase while you're partying and it's like, ooh, you know what? Would that not be? I feel like a younger Jake Paul would have staged something like this or something.
Interesting. Well, I'll tell you what, party buses, super fun. If you haven't done it because you have an attitude towards it, I understand. But, like, really give it a shot. Have you done a party bus?
I love a party bus. I'm
They're
trash. I love a
fucking
party bus.
fun. There's
And then there's
something
inexplicably a stripper pole in them.
always, at least one. And like there's just a lawlessness to like having some person that you met 20 minutes ago drive you and your friends around while you're getting shit-faced drunk in a moving vehicle. So I
Sitting
would say
down. It's the best.
you don't have to sit down.
You can stand up, but
I think
somebody's
what it
driving
does,
you.
it taps into, we had motorhome, like my mom had a motorhome as a kid.
Mhm.
and we would go camping, and, like, it was always the rules, like, when we're driving, like, you can't get up and walk around, like, you need to be
Right,
sitting.
right.
Like, just be even though we're on a house on wheels, you can't exist in this like a house, you have to exist in it like a car, and so I
Yeah.
think that there's that, like, it kinda taps into that satisfaction of, like,
Yes.
my mom can't tell me to sit down because she's not fucking here, and I I got the stripper pole.
Perfect.
Uh, but
God.
yes, I do think, like, I don't know, the simulated because now I'm old and I fear death, and so I think
Right, I'm not gonna do it
I think
now.
about, like, I have a child now, like, what if it flips in the simulated car chase is what I'm
Yeah.
nervous about.
So, okay, here's the thing. The party bus is in a warehouse, and it's on those, like, the things you put under wheels so you can, like, spin the wheels and it doesn't go anywhere, but the wheels move?
Sure.
And then the background or the whole outside is, like, simulated. Like, it's like you're in a movie where the background changes. So it's like and every once in a while, you'll feel like a slight
Like
tilt.
a
So
virtual reality
like
kind
a
of.
VR party bus, yeah, but it's like you're in a car chase, and then it's like, "Let's take a shotgun a natties to the dome while we, are saving off the police or going
Are
through a
we
school
are
playground."
we missing out on, like, a big, like, untapped market of, like, kind of a trashy amusement park, you know?
Oh.
And look, I know we need civil engineers, we need,
Oh god.
like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
mechanics and, like, physicists and all
But you know who
kinds of
else had a dream? Walt
Martin Luther King?
Disney.
Oh, who? Oh, Walt Disney? Shit, you're right.
Instead of Imagineers, we have Trashineers.
Wow. Imagine
Yeah,
going to college and having a master's degree just to have
yeah.
just to be a trashineer, but, like,
One of the rides is just, you take the hood off of a car, flip it upside down, hook it up to a four-wheeler, and then you just go sledding in fake snow.
yes,
Yeah, yeah,
that
but
would
it's all
be
safe. It's all
fun.
s Oh my god, it was the most fun growing up. One of the rides is a three-wheeler that you flip over and then you don't tell anybody and you just walk with a limp and bruises for weeks, and, never tell anybody you flip the three-wheeler over
Yeah,
because then they would stop letting you drive the three-wheeler.
yeah. I mean, God, I just feel like
We're
money's on the table,
sitting on it. Yes.
Long story short, there was a party bus that was in a in a
Police
police chase. That's it.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
the
yeah.
story.
California Highway Patrol threw down a spike strip. A spike strip always ruins the party,
Yep, yep,
but the
yep. We
driver
all know.
evaded the strip,
In a party bus, which is, like, sick.
which is impressive as hell. All
It must
right.
have been ice everywhere.
We're skipping a story about Bigfoot in Northern California. And let me just say, I feel like Bigfoot could exist in Southern California because he looked like Peter Stormare, just Bigfoot with less hair. He just needs sunglasses, the right sunglasses, and like a hoodie, a year round hoodie. Because there's people that wear hoodies year round.
Sure.
And I'm like, it's like July 7th, and you've got a hoodie on.
You think
Bigfoot.
Bigfoot is, like, just like a year-round hipster.
Yeah.
Alright.
Hoodie, sunglasses. He just shows up at the coffee shop, and everyone knows that means chai latte. He doesn't tip for shit, but here he is. Maybe. I don't
Well,
know.
too bad. We need to stick to Southern California, and
Yep.
I guess this is the state of California, this next story, but it is worth talking about. California is what they call a at-will state, which is that you can be fired from a job at any reason or for any reason, quote, "at will,"
Mhm.
without warning, and
Mhm.
that's like you know, a right
Mhm.
that your boss has. One of the few rights. California's pretty good to their workers, but,
Mhm.
like, you gotta give the Machiavellians something. And so from notalwaysright.com,
Mhm.
this is a story about a person who got called into jury duty, and their boss was like, "Absolutely not, you cannot go to jury duty or I will fire you."
Yeah. So they were a server at a local restaurant, and in 2017, they got the jury summons, and it's required by law that they served. So they showed the restaurant's owner the jury duty summons, and she handed it back to me and said, "No, we're going to be out very busy that week and we'll need you. You are not going to use this as an excuse to get out of the holiday season. If you do not show up to work, it will count as a no show, no call, which is grounds for instant termination. Understand?" To which the poster said, "You can't fire me for going on jury duty." Owner: "California is an at-will state. I can fire you for any reason that I want." Me. Or poster says, "No, jury duty is protected under federal law." And owner: "Shut up. At will means I can fire you for any reason. Bottom line, you do not have my permission to go to jury duty. You will be here or you will not have a job. That is final." And she
Can you
stormed off.
imagine being fucking told, shut up by your boss? Hey, shut up.
Hey, shut up.
You
I
shut
like
up.
saying, hey, maybe in the future we don't use language like that. So thank you. Like that's
Yeah.
how I say, shut the fuck up.
So this person went to jury duty on their day off, and told the judge, like, because the judge was like, "Is there any reason why you can't serve?" The person was like, "Well, my boss, will fire me if I serve." And the judge ended up calling the owner
Mhm.
of this place, and then the owner still was like, "This is an at-will state," like,
Mhm.
like just screaming. The judge is like, "No, you cannot fire her for that," to a point where they had to arrest this owner.
Which was her name Karen? I hope so. This is the
Who's to
best part,
say?
though. The judge calls her, tells him, "Hi, I'm the judge. No, you cannot fire her for that. This is a federal law. Da da da. Jury duty is protected." The owner's screaming, and the owner yells, "Tell that worthless bitch she's fired!" Hangs up on him. And yeah.
This is a classic case of fuck around and find out, because maybe that owner did not believe that they were speaking to a judge for real.
Oh my God. Oh God.
Yeah, so the owner got arrested,
Yeah.
brought to the courthouse in handcuffs, and the judge spent 30 minutes chewing the owner out. And then the owner apologized, reinstated the employee with back pay, and the judge dropped the charges. So, big lesson learned. Yes, California is an at-will state, but yeah, the federal government still controls us, and that's nice in this situation, but kind of scary if Trump gets elected again.
States' rights. States' rights.
Speaking of states' rights, it's time for an ad break.
Your federally mandated break every so many hours of
Yes.
podcasting.
Ugh, not another ad.
Sorry, Cass, but Mama's got to pay the bills.
Surely there's another way.
Oh, there is. You can subscribe to the Trashy Podcast Patreon.
That's ad-free episodes?
And longer episodes.
So much trash.
And even sometimes we release bonus behind the paywall only content.
Exclusive trash.
Sign up for memberships as low as $1.99 per month at patreon.com/trashytrashypodcast.
So patreon.com/trashytrashypodcast. Oh, that's fun. There's different tiers. Wait, what is this $200,000 a month?
Oh, at that level, we'll stop doing a public podcast and do a private podcast for you daily for one very rich, very cool listener. That's patreon.com/trashytrashypodcast and sign up today.
You really missed out on the Patreon, but Erica told the worst story. I can't even say that I would promote the Patreon in this moment because of how horrifically sad.
I'm sorry, I was just trying to be vulnerable with the people. Just trying to be
I can't. I mean, I'm not even allowing myself. I'm not allowing myself to think about it for too long because I have too many hormones in my body, and
Yeah.
I can't risk depression at this stage in the game. You just have to trust me.
I'm going to send you an image and I want your live reaction. Are you
What
ready?
the fuck? Sure, send it over.
Because I need to talk to you and Taylor about car seat safety. And I need you to look at this ad.
Okay, this is a bench ad with a baby in a car seat. It says, "Make sure Mr. Chuckles is in the right seat."
And this is the most horrifying looking baby. And it's like a, government ad, whatever. It's like on your way to the Hollywood Bowl, on the way to Hollywood Boulevard. Like coming down. But it's the most horrific, scary looking baby.
The fact that they're calling it Mr. Chuckles doesn't help because it almost like he's like, is Mr. Chuckles a baby? No, Mr. Chuckles is actually a 60-year-old man with a degenerative disease that still makes him need to ride an infant car seat. Is he in the right one?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Because
Who
if you
approved
don't,
this
Mr.
ad?
Chuckles is going to come at you in the middle of the night.
This is, I mean, who, like, there was a copywriter. There was an ad guy who said, "This is the shot of this baby." And, like, no disrespect, like, to the baby. and its parent. I'm not trying to
There's cuter
shit
babies
talk a
out there
baby,
with
but there's
agents.
cuter babies. And the fact that they call it Mr. Chuckles, this is horrifying.
It does. It literally looks like if you don't put Mr. Chuckles in the right seat before 5 p.m., he
Yeah.
will start scratching at your bedroom door at night.
You can't let him in. He
Yeah.
grows at night. Just the mother's just in horror. The mother and father are just waiting from dusk till dawn. They have to lock Mr. Chuckles in his room.
That's
And
exactly what it
they just
is.
pray for daylight every day so Mr. Chuckles goes back to his slumber.
That's fucking funny.
I saw that yesterday and I was like, I should send this to Cass. And then I said, no, wait for it.
Okay.
Sorry. Let's go.
No, I love it.
From
What was that one horror movie that was super scary? That's not the family moves into the house and then they find the videotape in the attic, and by watching the videotape they release Bagul, who like will take Bagul will hunt your kids to kill you if you like whenever you move.
Coming up a blank on that one.
Sinister is what I'm thinking of. Anyways, I always think about that one. I thought about it when we were talking about Mr. Chuckles just now, because it's like you just put him to rest. Hopefully he won't come out in the middle of the night. And I always think to myself, I'm like, man, that whole Bagul thing could really be solved if you just never moved. But then you have
this
to
a permanent home.
yeah, but then you have to like live with Bagul.
Yeah, but like sometimes you just live with Bagul. Like if he's paying
like
rent on time.
yeah.
Mhm.
All right. So I told you at the beginning of the episode we were going to talk about the Dodgers. The time has come. From KTLA.com, the Dodgers minor league team's new name is a naughty Spanish slang word. Oopsies.
Oops. So, fun fact connecting us again, LA and Oklahoma, the AAA team is the Oklahoma City Dodgers. So I have a Oklahoma City Dodgers hat that I like to wear to Dodgers games, and it's like a little
Oh, that's cute.
wink. Yeah, but the LA Dodgers, our famed baseball team, they have a minor league team. The AAA, AA, all that, and it's in the Fun Cup as the division, and
This minor league baseball season's Copa de la Diversión, which is the Fun Cup. It's an event to embrace the culture and values that resonate most. It's Hispanic communities and minor league teams. Our minor league team is the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes normally.
Yes.
But I guess that for this Fun Cup, they will change the name to honor. I don't know.
And let me be honest, Fun Cup sounds like something dirty itself.
Sure does, Erica. I had that same thought.
Can I just say I listen to a podcast frequently that talks it's a comedic true crime and paranormal podcasts. They don't need my plug. They're one of the biggest podcasts in the world. But I listen to horrific stories about murderous ghouls, alien abduction. I've listened to the worst stories, serial killers, all of this. The most disgusting thing I've ever heard them say was on this most recent. Well, you don't know when this is being released, but they said, could you turn that into a fleshlight? Question about something. Could you turn that into a fleshlight? And one of the guys, in all seriousness, was like, well, anything cylindrical and wet could be a fleshlight. And when I tell you, I almost pulled over the car because I thought I was going to vomit. Like, I don't know. I've listened to stories about people's nipples being cut off and like made into necklaces. And I'm like, keep driving, checks out. But hearing anything cylindrical and wet can be a fleshlight. Made me almost lose my stomach.
It's just best that we don't know men's thoughts.
Really?
We're never, ever adequately prepared for them.
Yeah. And it was like an academic pondering, the way they answered it. Like, it was like, oh, well.
Suppose if you think about it.
Yeah, they don't need my plugs. They're one of the big.
Speaking of fleshlights, the Dodgers their team's like new name for the Fun Cup is the Chaquetas, which chaqueta is Spanish for jackets. And this is their attempt at paying homage to Southern California's mariachi band culture. I guess that mariachi was already taken by another team. And so that's when they were like, well, we really don't want to bail on this theme. So let's go for the chaquetas. And everyone thought it was a great idea until they released it. And fans were like, hey, we actually that's a slang term. Chaqueta is a slang term for masturbating.
Yeah. Now, question, was La Biblioteca taken? They could have been the libraries.
Sure, they could have been, but
one of the most recognized Spanish words and rarely utilized by people learning Spanish as a language.
I know.
Just gonna be told, I was prepared to ask where the library is incredibly well. Every Spanish class I've ever taken, I am ready and locked and loaded to ask, where is the library?
Well, I didn't know this, by the way, that chaqueta could be used for
I didn't either.
Masturbating.
Yeah.
I'm not hip on all the slang. But once they found out, they were like, oh my God, did we screw up? And then they went back to all the people who approved it, and all the people who approved it were like, we didn't know that shit either. So
that tells me they probably were talking to, like, no offense, old people. People our age and above.
Why'd you say no offense? As if because I said I'm not familiar with the slang. Now you're like, and then you're saying no offense to me because you're saying I'm old.
I'm just saying, we are of a certain age.
Sure.
Or maybe we're not keeping up. Or maybe we don't know what the Riz. Or maybe we are no cap old now. Like, just saying, maybe they didn't know. Maybe Jaquetas hadn't gotten to.
Riz means like game, right? Like you have.
No, it's like your swag. Yeah, it's like your swagger, your charisma. Like you're kind of like game. Yeah, your game a little bit. Yeah, I would say game. Yeah.
See,
yeah.
I know things.
Yeah.
All right, look.
They'll be wearing their shirts April 13th.
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry. They'll be wearing these jerseys.
I need to shut up. I need to shut up so you can talk.
They'll be wearing their jerseys.
Telling myself. Yeah, I'm quiet. I'm quiet right now.
The team will be wearing their Chiquitas jerseys on April 13th. So, one shot.
Chiquitas, baby, not Chiquitas. Chiquitas are bananas.
You want to take
Who's
that?
old now?
You want to take that line?
No. I want you to leave it in.
Chiquitas. Okay, sorry.
Chiquitas. That's cute. You're from Oklahoma, babe. It's okay.
I'd read it so many times.
I know. I doomed you. All right. Well, look, sometimes we come across stories that have a little too much Riz. Am I using that right? Probably not.
Old lady alert.
Hello. But we have a segment for that, which is that we cut that.
And we cut that.
From thepatch.com. A California woman drives stolen car to trial about stolen cars. Maybe.
I mean, this is a trashy story that maybe we would have covered, but this takes place in NorCal, and I'm not
can't get to it.
I don't identify with NorCal life. But just a word to the wise, if you are going to trial for a stolen car case against you, don't steal another car to get there. Although she didn't want to miss.
Yeah, she wasn't late. So where's her points for not being late? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. From foxla.com. $1 Million Listing star Josh Altman argues Beverly Hills has no room for affordable housing. Doesn't pencil out. Go fuck yourself.
This story, we had to cut it because I just feel like it was going to get this is an example of too much juice. We would have gotten pissed. I read through it and I was like, I'm getting fucking angry.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He says things like, where are you supposed to put these affordable, like, you're just going to put affordable condos across from Gucci? That doesn't make sense. Like, basically, that's like the types of things that he has to, we can't get into it.
We just simply can't get into it.
Yeah.
Ay.
We have something special though well, hold on. Sorry. Are you ready?
Oh, I'm ready. Are you ready?
I'm ready. It's time for the dumpster fire of the week. Oh my God.
All right.
So it's not a story. It's more, well, you know, Erica and I live in LA. And if you don't live in LA, or if you do, but if you don't, we got some travel tips for you.
Yeah. Which I'm
go
realizing
through-
I didn't fill in my homework for, but I'm doing it now.
Whoa. Okay. Well, let me just
doing it.
vamp for a second. So this is going to be Cassandra and Erica's most overrated parts of LA.
Yes.
Our most worth the hype parts of LA, and our most underrated parts of LA. So I'll go ahead and say what my first. Girl, you took one of my overrated.
Sorry, it's real. It's real. Okay, I have
good.
to.
All right, if we'll agree with it then. So we'll do that one at the end.
It's a good one. Yeah.
It is. Well, fine. We'll start with it because we're already talking about it. Me and Erica both can agree that one of the most overrated things in LA is Pink's hot dogs.
There's a line every day.
This is off of Melrose and something.
Beverly?
Who cares? No, Melrose and Beverly run the same way.
No, Beverly's at La Brea?
I think maybe, yeah. It's in that area. And then they have, it's Melrose and La Brea. And then they have another one in Universal City Walk, which is never a good sign. But there's always a line. Always, always, always a line. And so you think, oh my God, they must have the best hot dogs in the world. They don't. They're just fucking hot dogs. They're just expensive too.
And listen, I love a hot dog. I'm a garbage person. I have a garbage palate. Love it. But it's like, guys, it's a hot dog at the end of the day. It's a fucking hot dog. Like, you got to get over yourself. All right, go ahead, Cass. What's your more overrated list?
My next overrated is just all of East Hollywood. I despise East Hollywood.
Whoa.
And everyone is trying to, oh my God, East Hollywood's so cool.
Yeah.
Really? Really? Is it cool? Like, no parking to go and spend 45 minutes at a wine bar that doesn't take reservations, to spend $60 on a bottle of shitty natural wine.
Oh,
like, and then like overpriced small bites.
Oh,
while a homeless person takes a piss on my car.
Yeah.
That's a mile away. And my friends who live there are living in like what's equivalent to a closet space for an exorbitant amount of rent every month. Really, that area is so cool.
Yeah.
East Hollywood. They're trying to gentrify it, which
it's gentrified. Yeah.
Yeah, but it isn't, because they're not fixing anywhere to live. That's the issue.
Mm-hmm.
They're just they're just putting places.
Yeah.
They're putting wine bars and coffee shops in an area that can't sustain that kind of business, and then they're not building any. LA has an issue with that. We have an issue with trying to gentrify areas with businesses before putting more places for people to live to park.
Yeah.
I was in Frogtown yesterday, which was also experiencing this problem. But now Frogtown, they're starting to build more places to live. But it's also kind of like, well, who'd you have to put out to build that?
Damn.
It's complicated. Gentrification is complicated. You know, but I don't like East Hollywood is the point. I think it's so overrated. I have yet to go to a place in East Hollywood where I'm like, that was worth $150 and all of that time.
Yeah. Agreed.
Stick to Silver Lake. Stick to Los Feliz.
Yeah.
Those places have it perfected.
It's true. It's true.
What's your next overrated?
Okay, overrated. The Santa Monica Pier.
Oh my God, I almost put that one.
Almost, honestly, all of Santa Monica.
Yeah, dog.
All of Santa Monica. But
Santa Monica people are going to come for your throat. I mean, I don't know who's more brutal, the East Hollywood people or the Santa Monica people, but we're making enemies right now.
I'm slicing and dicing. Come for me, Samo. This is what I hate when people go, Samo. And I'm like, you mean Santa Monica. It's not
I've
Samo.
never heard Samo. Thank
Oh my
God. It makes
people
me
are
furious.
saying, yeah. People, Samo. Okay. Anyway, it's just, it's inferior. It's dull. It's bad beach. And
Yeah.
it's dull. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you look like you have 4. You're going to have to choose.
I know. Yeah. I just feel like one's gone downhills, but I feel like I took out, I don't know.
I agree with you. Like, do that one. Do the one that's gone downhill because I agree with you. Okay, my last one is the smash burger scene in LA.
Mm-hmm.
People are like so horny for like smash burgers when there's no difference between any of the places who makes them. They're just like really thin beef patties and
you have to get
really
2 of them.
Yeah, you have to get 2 and
I like them.
People just like,
I love them.
I don't like them. I think that they're just like really expensive and greasy and I'm like, that wasn't good.
Wolves. Yeah. That's fair.
LA likes to take a new food and just like run to the hills with it and smash burgers.
Do it over and over and do it to death. Yeah.
Do it to death. All of a sudden someone's like, oh, I opened up a smash burger truck because I've been eating smash burgers for the past 4 months and this is my culture now.
It is. It becomes someone's culture. That's such
all the smash burger places have like punk rock names of like,
burgers never
like,
say die.
Yeah, like, oh, like eat shit beef, Burgers never say die is a real one.
It is.
Eat shit beef is
Hi-hat.
Yeah, they're all just
the one in Chinatown though. That one's actually really good. What's that one? Gold guy. I don't remember. Anyway, doesn't matter. Who cares?
What's your last overrated list?
Okay, let me just say this. It used to be the best.
Yep.
And it has gone so downhill and is so overpriced. Okay, let me just set a scene. Barbecue in LA is overpriced everywhere.
Yes.
So some hip restaurateurs took one that was from Compton originally called Bloodsoes, and they put it just a couple blocks down from Pink's Hot Dogs on La Brea and Melrose, like kind of near that, right?
Yeah.
And I was there the second night it opened. I've eaten there years, time after time. I was like, this is so good. This is actually good barbecue in LA. I was so happy.
Yeah.
And it has gone downhill and gotten more expensive and downhill in quality and gotten more expensive. And now it's like not even worth it. So Bloodsoes. I'm sorry. I used to be your biggest fan. I used to recommend you, and now you're off the list.
You're right, though. They were on, I think they were on one of Jonathan Gold's last lists.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Jonathan Gold was a very famous food critic in Los Angeles who passed away it's been a while now, but you're not wrong. I used to sing Bloodsoe's praises, and then the last time I went there, it was like the first time I think that I took Taylor there, and I was like, I felt like a fool.
Yeah.
I felt like a damn fool for pumping this place up so much. And then it was like it's not your fault. The pandemic did something different to that place. That's for sure.
Yeah. You know what has crazy barbecue? Hear me out. And it's very cheap. Whole Foods, like their hot section.
Yes.
I have a story to tell you. I don't know if we've ever told you, but one time we were coming over to Cass and Taylor's to eat dinner. And this is in their plant-based phase. And so before we went, Winston stopped at Whole Foods to pick up some ingredients to bring to dinner, like as a host gift. And we'll bring our portion or whatever. And he got some like brisket from Whole Foods, like the hot deli section, and it was fucking great. And it was only like $12 a pound. And so we were like, oh, we'll save this for later. He's like, I just discovered it. And then we nibbled and we nibbled. We ate a lot of it before we came over to your house just in case we were going to be hungry later.
You're clowns. We had leftover burgers. You
I
guys brought
know. We I
brought
know.
beef.
I know we did. I just was like, oh, well, just what if? Anyway, I had
I get it though.
to come clean. Okay. All right.
You're gonna go to a vegan's house. You gotta eat before.
What is the most worth the hype list?
Okay, worth the hype. Osteria Mozza.
Both
also
of our
on
list.
La Brea.
Yes.
Is it on it? Okay, yeah. This is also on La Brea. I think that section of La Brea and Melrose is called Restaurant Row.
It's one of Nancy Silverton's restaurants. It's a little pricey, but the food slaps.
It's not just a little pricey. I would venture to say it's full-blown expensive.
Oh, wait. I'm thinking, no, I eat at Mozza because I don't have any money. Let me change mine.
Oh, the pizza place next door.
Yeah, I've never eaten at Osteria Mozza. I don't have the money.
Oh.
Still Nancy Silverton's restaurant, so mine's different.
No, same exact owners, but they're right next to each other. But yes, there is a fancy restaurant, which I am recommending. And then there's a dirt pizza place next door that Erica.
Not a dirt pizza place.
I'm just kidding.
Wonderful. Oh my God.
Osteria Mozza's so good.
Yeah.
And like, honestly, I'll say it because, this is my platform.
Mm-hmm.
It's better Italian food than you'll get in Italy. I say that as someone who's been to Italy, and I was like,
wow.
Then I ate at Osteria Mozza, and I was like, oh, this is better than Italy.
Damn. Let me say about Mozza. Again, owned by Nancy Silverton. Wonderful place.
Joe Bastianich, also co-owner from MasterChef.
Oh, okay. Okay, I didn't know that.
One of the judges of MasterChef. I didn't either until I was watching that season of MasterChef. I'm like, I'm going to Mozza. He owns this place? And then I looked it up on the website, and I'm like, here he is. Fucking weirdo.
We have a Mozza, wonderful pizzas. Like, it's wonderful, but they really do a good job. It's a pizzeria Mozza, and it's like their appetizers, their meatballs, their fennel, like everything's so good. It's a little more affordable, still a bit pricey, but during the pandemic, they opened like their back to a like outdoor area, and it was so easy and lovely. I spent a Valentine's Day there where I took a swing and a miss with the Tinder swing and a hit with the Tinder swindler customer. So I've talked about this place before.
I remember that.
It's so good. So
yeah, if you're going to spend a little bit more money and do the Osteria Mozza, make sure to get the burrata sampler.
you got to get the burrata. Yeah.
It's good. Okay, so we both say worth the hype. My second worth the hype is the Greek Theater.
Yes.
It's an outdoor theater in LA. The Hollywood Bowl also worth the hype, I'd say, but the Greek is should I have done the Hollywood Bowl? Because if the Hollywood Bowl you go on the Philharmonic nights, you can bring your own alcohol. Well, whatever. The Greek is awesome. Just to go there to see a concert. It's up in the hills of Los Feliz. My hot tip, order a large wine. The reason being is because if you order a large wine, they will just pour an entire bottle of wine into like a plastic big gulp cup and go, here you are, enjoy the show. And it's a great deal. It's a great deal.
Yeah. All right. Mine is in the Greek Theater, is a part of and is inside of Griffith Park. I love Griffith Park, and the Griffith Park Observatory is absolutely worth the hype. You can see so much of the city. It's a wonderful free science like museum and observatory. We went and saw we got to hang out there as a couple one time, me, you, Taylor, and Winston. It was
the last time I was there.
Oh, me too, I think. Yeah. I just love it. I love the Griffith Park Observatory. I love taking people. Winston and I did this one time, and I say it like we do it every time we go, but we stood at the top and we found like a light, like a distinction of like, okay, what's that purple light? And then from observation, we drove to find it. Like, okay, so that's Vermont. This is this street. It must be between this and this. And then we went and found the thing that we were pointing out from up there. And it was just like a really fun little adventure. So
I remember when we all went, the four of us, there There's the Netflix is funny whatever comedy festival that they do,
Oh,
and
yeah.
so there was a shit ton of traffic.
Yep.
So Taylor and I were late, and we missed the special event thing that you had been invited to. It was like a premiere of like some
The
new
planetarium. Yeah.
video. And so we missed the video, but they still let us into the observatory. And so we got to wander around the observatory while it was full blown empty.
That's so
And I was like,
cool.
wow, this is really special. Like, probably won't ever have this opportunity again.
Yeah.
But what stood out to me that night was you and Winston were asked if you wanted to interview about the show. And you said yes, of course. And I was able to witness the showmanship, like kind of power couple energy that you and Winston have, because you guys, I don't even think like loved the show. I don't think you disliked it, but I don't think you loved it.
Mhm.
But I could see both of you serving, like you were giving lines like that. I'm like, I think I even told Taylor, I'm like, they know if they keep saying things the way they're saying, because you kept saying the title of the show too.
Uh-huh.
You knew that you guys could be edited around. Like you knew, you were thinking about it from the eyes of an
Soundbite.
editor.
Yeah.
You were everything that came out of your guys' mouths was a soundbite, because you both wanted to be part of the cut so fucking bad. It was incredible to watch. I'm like, these people, if I didn't know you better, I'd be like, these are the fakest people I've ever seen in my life.
Embarrassing. Yep. Yeah. Yeah.
It was incredible. I thought it was really special.
Yeah.
Okay, my last worth the hype is the Burbank Airport.
Worth it.
Holy crap. If you don't have to fly into LAX, don't do it. And if you're like, oh, it's $100 extra to go to Burbank, that's how much you're going to pay to get out of LAX.
Yeah. Worth it.
Always, always, always. If it's an option, Burbank Airport, you're going to thank me.
If you have TSA, you can be out the door of the car and to your gate in under 4 minutes. Happened to Winston multiple times.
The whole like 2 hours before your flight thing, you're lucky to see me 45 minutes before my flight if I'm out of the Burbank Airport.
Oh, yeah. No. Yeah. Yeah. You don't check a bag.
No frills.
We're carry-on people.
Guy Fieri has multiple. He's one of the only people who has restaurants there. It's not a frilly airport. There's no lounges.
No.
There's hardly anywhere to eat, and you have to get there certain hours to even have something open. But that's not why you're there. You're there to get out or get into LA. So,
and you
highly
feel like
recommend.
You feel like you're in the 60s every time, because a lot of times you deplane on the tarmac and have to go up the little ramp elevator, so you feel like you're like Jackie Kennedy stepping out waving to the mountains.
And you feel like you're in the 60s in the sense that they haven't updated the airport since the 60s. It's not our best presentation until you go to LAX and you go, oh, I don't give a shit about.
Yeah, the American Express Lounge isn't at LAX isn't worth not flying out of Burbank. Yeah. Okay.
Big time. All right, what's your last worth the hype?
Dan Sung Sa.
Where is this?
It's in Koreatown. It is a North Korean style drinking pub. It's my favorite.
North?
Yeah. It's like a yeah. It's the whole thing.
Interesting.
It's the most fun. But now there's always, there's a wait. Okay, we'll wait 15, 20, 30 minutes, And now it's like every time we go, there's a massive wait. They don't take reservations. They don't do takeout orders. They have skewers, like meat skewers and vegetable skewers, starting at $1.99. Their menus are on wooden blocks. It is a lovely, and it's like you order in rounds. So it's like, oh, we'll get like 4 beef skewers, some pork, some pineapple. We'll do an order of corn cheese and some drinks. And then, okay, we want more food. So you it's not like you sit down, order a meal. It's more like a casual like drinking pub food, and you're just ordering in rounds, and it's so fun. I love taking people there. It's just getting harder and harder to get in because more and more people are like, oh, this place is fucking great, but it's been like our spot for years, and it is totally worth the hype. I get why people are waiting in line. So I love Dan Sung Sa, and I don't know if this is gonna blow it up more, but it's fantastic. It's one of my favorite places in Koreatown and maybe LA. So Dan Sung Sa.
All right. We'll go through the underrateds really fast because I know because Erica has somewhere to be. Underrated. Metrolink.
Love it.
This is the train that can take you to San Diego or to Santa Barbara. I will admit I've lived in LA for almost 20 years and I'd never taken it until recently. And I feel like a damn fool because it's nice and
Mhm.
it's a really, I mean, I guess this is like a way to get out of LA, but
Mhm.
still, like, it beats sitting in traffic.
Mhm.
The best thing about living in LA is you're 2 hours away from just about any climate that you want.
You're 2
And
hours away from LA. When you're in LA, you are just 2 hours away from LA.
exactly. So I highly recommend
Yeah.
the Metrolink.
Yeah, perfect. I highly recommend the Cha Cha Chicken. If you are in Santa Monica, only place worth eating is Cha Cha Chicken. It's very close to the beach. It's a open cork restaurant. It has Caribbean jerk chicken and sides. It's absolutely the only place to eat in Santa Monica. That's not shishi and whatever. Like it's beautiful little restaurant shack, and I absolutely love the Cha Cha Chicken. I think it's so underrated. It's my favorite spot. So Cha Cha Chicken.
I would say very underrated. People are starting to get it, but New Yorkers are very stubborn. The bagel scene in LA. Like I said earlier, people in LA, we take something and we run with it. But where smash burgers, I feel like no one's doing anything good or unique.
Mm-hmm.
The bagels out in LA are good
Mm-hmm.
and they are better. They're just better than anywhere else.
Mm-hmm.
But again, like I know people from New York are clutching their pearls because they,
Oh, I
oh
want
my God, what do you
they
mean? But
can't get
it's
a
like,
bagel here.
it's like, yes, you can. The
You can.
bagels are awesome here.
Yeah.
You're wrong. You're
Yeah.
wrong if you
It's
don't think the bagels in
yeah.
LA are awesome.
Okay.
Hank's Bagels, they have multiple
Mm.
locations. The Toluca Lake, Sherman Oaks, whatever.
I like Brooklyn
They're the
bagels.
best.
Yeah, I like Brooklyn bagels
They're
in Echo Park. Yeah.
they're
Filipino
just there's
town.
good bagels
Yeah.
anywhere.
I think underrated is Will Rogers State Park beaches. It's the very, very north end of Santa Monica, south, almost Malibu, but they're accessible. They're fantastic. It's easy to get to the beach from the parking lot. I feel like Will Rogers beats any of the other beaches out of the water. I love Will Rogers State Park beaches. So underrated.
That's a good idea to recommend a beach.
Mhm.
Ciclavia is an event that gets
Mhm.
held every few months where they close down like a long stretch of road and make it closed to cars so that people can ride bikes and
Mhm.
walk. They do it in different parts of LA. I think one of the more recent ones, they closed down a big part of Reseda, or they did a big part of Melrose Boulevard. They do them downtown, the
Mhm.
Valley, the West Side. They do it all over the city. So if you've never gone to a Ciclavia event, it's completely free.
Mhm.
Just show up and bring your bike, or don't bring your bike and just walk. They're the best. And you go through it and you go, man, I really wish that LA just didn't have cars.
Mhm. Mhm.
Um, Ciclavia events are so awesome. And I hope that more and more people get into them because the more and more people who show interest in LA about,
Car free LA. Yeah.
car free LA, the more places will become car free.
All right, my last underrated is the Highland Park Brewery in Chinatown. It
The
is
best.
great. The food slaps there. The drinks are great. The patio scene is awesome. I think Chinatown is super cool. Highland Park Brewery. That's my list. So,
Food's fine. Food's fine.
but they have queso. They have nacho tots. Like I like the food.
The drinks are popping. I
Drinks are
miss
popping.
it.
Yep.
And yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah. All right, Cass. Now, where can the people find you?
Yeah, because that was basically just a giant hoarding and throwing away, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Well, in that case, I think I said this in the last Evergreens, but if I didn't, I'll say it again. Do not find me. I'm busy. I have a newborn. Leave me alone. Where can the but I do love you and I appreciate you listening to the podcast.
Yeah.
Where can people find you?
At Iconic Erica Curry on Instagram, TikTok, Threads, wherever you want to find us. But most importantly, you can find the podcast at Trashy Pod on Instagram, TikTok, Threads, Blue Sky, all the places. Google Podcast has gone away. If you're listening to this now, we have a YouTube channel, which is at Trashy Trashy Pod, where you can listen to the podcast on YouTube, see transcripts. If you want to wear any merch or have a coffee mug that supports this podcast, you can go to trashytrashypodcast.threadless.com. If you want ad-free episodes and bonus content, please support Cassandra's child college fund at patreon.com/trashytrashypodcast. We have tiers starting at $1.99 a month. Those are, again, ad-free episodes, bonus content, all sorts of stuff. Use code TRASHY for all discounts. We appreciate you listening. The fastest way to help the podcast grow is to leave a 5-star review in your podcast listening device and tell people why you listen to Trashy Trashy Podcast, or share the link. Again, ad-free bonus episodes at patreon.com/Trashy Trashy Podcast. Hey, Cass.
What's going on, girl?
Stay garbage.
You stay garbage, girl. I love LA.
I love LA. All right.
We love it.